Yeah, you directed me over to Fox News at a time when, like, this feature of our propaganda system, which is designed to harm the poor and the working poor, which includes basically most of the working class at this point, is what we call the working poor at this point. I mean, but it's interesting. What Fox News does, this is what they're doing right now. This is the feature of our. It's a sophisticated form of propaganda, but it's easy to spot if you're looking from where persons like me are looking from. Here's the thing: they brought up the topic of the minimum, raising the minimum wage. Did you want me to?
It's what most people in America think.
I mean, I don't want to do the wrong thing.
Part of its history, but
So we have that and. Is. I'm not sure. Should I not say what about that? Or what they're doing is this. This is how they bring on people who are see, they're just educated in the same way people. But see, educated people talking on a panel like that. They can say all kinds of things. But it puts things in people's these aren't like particularly like experts on anything. This guy was a former New York congressman, okay, but there's three of them. They're having an ongoing discussion, and you mentioned, well, what about what about this issue about raising the minimum wage? And what one of them said, but this is a key way of talking that is the part of our propaganda system that harms the poor and the working poor. He said, well, the issue really, the issue of the minimum, this is what he said, the issue of the minimum wage being raised has come up now because people are striking. But what would be logical to focus on would be not so much the focus is only on raising the minimum wage because they're striking. What we should be interested in is how do we grow the economy so there are more jobs available and jobs that pay higher. We should be focused on growing the economy. The only reason that the minimum wage is being discussed is because they're striking. Okay, that's a statement that would induce schizophrenia in a person who is rational. That is, none of that makes logical sense. We should. What he's saying is first of all, it's not the issue of the minimum wage hasn't come up, being raised hasn't come up because they're striking, and that's sort of to say like we shouldn't be talking about it. It's only because people are striking. That doesn't make any sense. It's actually that people are finally striking for something that people have been calling for, asking for, and wanting for a long time. To discount the notion of raising the minimum wage by saying, well, that's only come up because they're striking. That statement doesn't make logical sense. That's why he's being asked about it. People are finally striking. Yes, that is why it's come up on the news, but now would be the time to talk about it. And he's saying, no, that's not what we should be talking about. We should be talking about growing our economy and creating more jobs. Well, I mean, if that could be done, that's great and we should do it, but that's not happening. But he's saying that's what we should be talking about. That is to say, both things should happen. They should raise the minimum wage and grow the economy. But the way he's saying that's the wrong topic to be talking about. It's about growing the economy. So you could picture someone watching this who doesn't realize they're watching a sophisticated form of propaganda and saying, geez, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Why worry about raising the minimum wage when we could be talking about growing the economy? They're not talking about growing the economy. So that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about raising the minimum wage, what they're asking him about. It was a schizophrenic way of using words that would tend to put in people's heads that we should just forget about the raising of the minimum wage. It's a way of talking that would disorganize people's thoughts in such a way that it'll put in their mind that the idea of raising the minimum wage isn't serious and we should be talking about other things. These kind of people are sick. That's all I have to say about it.